Welcome to Building the Freedom Fund series. I am your host, Fiona, where I share my journey to building wealth and financial freedom on the side whilst working a 9 to 5. Welcome to the very first episode of Building a Freedom Fund. My name is Fiona and I'm the host of this new podcast show that I started. Also, the video form of this podcast is also available on YouTube. I will put the link down below in the show notes. If you're watching the video version of the podcast, you can see that I am currently filming in my bedroom. I've had my makeup done, but I'm also in my pajamas. I just really wanted to have a cozy setup for this podcast, not to put too much pressure on appearances. I do want to have multiple formats of this podcast. Like I want to have it in audio form and video form. I still just want to make it as cozy and comfortable, easy for people to digest, no matter what form they prefer. I really want to try and speak intuitively, let my words flow out. So I have a few notes on the side. I have been trying to do the TikTok public speaking challenge, and I think that's been helping a lot with just speaking without taking much breaks and letting my words flow out. The purpose of this podcast is basically showing you guys how to build your freedom fund whilst working a 9 to 5. You don't have to be working a 9 to 5 to be able to build your freedom fund, but that is my current situation right now. I feel like it's a lot of people's current situation. I'm not gonna lie and say I love my job. I am okay with it. It's something that's stable. I'm very grateful for having the job, but I just know in the future I want to do something even more. I'm still figuring out what I want to do with life. I'm still figuring out my soul purpose. I just feel like my 9 to 5 is not what my soul is calling for. But I also don't want to struggle financially. My goal is to build something on the side where I have either passive source of income or something I really like to do that also is making money on the side. I have seen too many times in life people have lost a job unexpectedly and they just don't have a backup income to help them. I don't want it to be the only source of income that I'm reliant on. I want to be smart and build something on the side. I have the extra time after work to be able to do so. Since I'm still young, now is the perfect time to start slowly building the freedom fund. This is not a get rich quick scheme. I want to be mindful and purposeful when it comes to building my freedom fund. Have a side hustle that I care about, that I believe in, I know will bring value to the people. But that's basically the purpose of this podcast, is to show you the ups and downs and journeys. Let's move on and talk about the kind of side hustles that I want to try. I am very interested in digital products business model where I don't have any inventory. This is not the first time I've tried side hustles. I've tried so many side hustles in the past. I want to talk a little bit of my journey of how I came to be here in terms of business, money, that kind of stuff. I've always kind of known my whole life that I just didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I knew in my soul my purpose was more than that. Everything I could to try and prevent going down the 9 to 5 working life path, where I tried so many side hustles, so many business. So the very quick overview, because maybe I'll talk about this in another episode. I educated myself financially, becoming financial literate. I kind of knew my ego was very I know it all, where I should have been taking the time to learn as much as possible and just trialing and not being afraid of failure, which is why it took me so long, I guess, to get to this place. But the first business that I ever did was stickers, and then it was jewelry. I also had false lashes business phase and that kind of the clothes phase, because I was trying to do dropshipping for a tiny bit. When I realized how unethical it was and how I didn't like the business model, I just didn't really believe in it. I quit it really, really fast. I also went back to jewelry again. One of my first jewelry businesses was called Laksu Jewelry, and it actually did pretty well on TikTok. It had made pretty good sales for a while. I just couldn't sustain it. Whole thing of, I know the reason why it failed is deep down, I just didn't believe my product. The cause of having the jewelry business, had an arts business, which I am also a crystal business. I also had an art business, which I still have right now. I haven't let that one go yet because I actually love to draw. Even though I'm not great at it, I love drawing. Keep my art business just as a passion on the side, and whatever money I make is whatever I make. Tried starting a nail sticker business, but that one didn't really pop off because when I was trying to start building it, I all of a sudden got my 9 to 5 job, became way too busy. So now I have a bunch of stock in my room and I don't really know what to do with it because I just didn't have time to sell products. Correlation with all those businesses is they were all product based. Having a product based business is not a bad thing. If you have a product that's something that you believe in, that you love, go for it. Like, I have a product based business, but for me, most of the products I tried selling wasn't something that I 100% believed in. It just didn't really work out for me. Also, I also forgot I also had a swimsuit business that I tried to start. A hard thing of the product-based business is you have to sell the inventory. You either sell it or you have it. And I have so much inventory, half of it just full of like inventory, my business. And it's hard because, I don't know, I just have to stuck in my room and I don't have time to sell it. Why am I starting this podcast or this building the Freedom Fund when clearly a minute ago or 5 minutes ago I said I stopped my business because I didn't have enough time. It's been more than 6 months since I've started my 9 to 5 job, and honestly the transition between not having a 9 to 5 job and having one has been really brutal. My energy has been sucked out and I've just been trying to get used to the lifestyle and trying to take care of myself. So slowly I've gotten used to it. I've been trying to take care of myself. I really just want to try and get into digital products. Digital products is also a whole other thing that I do not know what to do with. Like, I don't know how to create a business with that. I have kind of also tried in the past. It's something that I'm not familiar with. That's why in this podcast I am documenting my journey of how I'm doing it. Also, digital products, it is work. Like, you do have to take the time to create and everything. But once you create it, it's done. It's sort of passive, not really. You do still have to market the products. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe to have that type of business. Also, since digital, I can work anywhere I want, whenever I want. Episode 2 will basically be about beginning introduction of my business idea. I want to give you guys a brief overview of my next business at Hustle Adventure. That's basically creating coloring books on Amazon. As you can see, there was a coloring book craze on TikTok, I think about last year. I'm not too sure if it's still trending. When I saw how cute and cozy this coloring books was, I just really wanted to join the bandwagon, try my own take of the coloring business. That's what I've been doing on the side, and it's also kind of fulfilling my creative drawing side as well. I'm able to create really cute coloring book designs just for the world to see. That's basically my first side hustle. I'm gonna try. There's something I want to try and grow. I'm just very excited. Please, if you really enjoyed this podcast so far, please follow and subscribe. Yeah, just please give me as much feedback as possible for this podcast, what you're looking forward to, what you want to learn as well. I also want to give as much value. I want to teach you something from this podcast in my journey. That is the very first episode of Building Freedom Fund podcast.